Everybody, welcome to the National Real Estate Post. Have our good friend Barry Habib here once again. Barry, how are you?
I'm great, ready to go.
Okay, we'll knock this up. Before we do, just remind you guys of That Broker Show, brought to you by Reinvesting Wholesale. There is a logo on your screen right now, which is right down below or over on your right. Click it, go to That Broker Show by Reinvesting Wholesale, where we do a little thing once a week there, a little story, and we give you a marketing piece that you can just download and use based on that story to market some business. All for free, of course, and very cool. So here we are, ready to roll, Mr. Barry Habib.
Yeah, we are. We got lots to talk about today. Where do you want to start?
First thing, so just so you guys know, in the green room, we were talking about housing and the Fed. I think let's start with the housing. Let's talk about that, and then.
So Diana Oleg got again. Yeah, Diana Oleg. She's really quite the character. We did in one of our updates this week, a couple of days ago. People loved it, so we showed just a handful. Maybe about 9 or 10 of them, actually, more than a handful, 2 handfuls out of the hundreds we could have picked of just big headlines, all the Diana Oleks through the years, going back to, 2012, 2014, 2006, every one of them. Don't buy a home. Housing in 2016, home prices will not appreciate. In 2007, home prices going lower. Rent, don't own, all of these. And then, of course, it was prompted by her latest one, the housing boom is over. It's over. That's it.
Done.
Done. Forget it. Home prices are going to crash. Well, listen, first of all, how are home prices going to crash? Let's understand mechanics. Prices go down when more people sell than people buy. Is that out there right now? Is everybody listing their home and trying to sell it? And by the way, they apply these metrics. Some really smart people, they try and compare it to the stock market. The thing of it is that you don't live in a stock. I can sell a stock and I don't have to buy another one. If I sell my home, I'm not going to pitch a tent. I promise you that. So I probably either have to find a place to rent, or more than likely, if I'm a homeowner, I'll probably buy a home. So it's not the same, and they make these mistakes. So the latest one was mortgage application data, down 18% year over year on purchases. Holy cow, the end of the... These are people taking out mortgages. See, the problem with this is that they don't look at finding out the real story. We try and do that every day. So when we do, we see that cash buyers also buy homes, but that's not captured in the mortgage application data. A year ago, it represented 16%. Now, for whatever reason, more cash buyers representing almost 24% of the marketplace. When you do the correct numbers, and I'm not going to go through the whole math equations that we did, but yes, there is a decline. The decline is 9%. But hey, yes, home prices are up 16.6% over a year ago. That does make it a little bit more difficult. In addition to that, home prices, the amount of inventory is down 20%, so it's harder. And try and find a new home that's got appliances. All the homes have appliances. You need appliances for CO. They all require chips. There's a chip shortage. Try and find a car, okay? You can probably sell your used car for more than what you paid for it in many cases. So this is what's going on. It is not because of demand. The demand's there, but it is just not, we don't have enough supply. And by the way, people say, well, the University of Michigan, another one, oh, it's a terrible time to buy a home. Yeah, it is. It's probably one of the worst times to buy a home. But if you buy a home, it's one of the best things you can do because you're going to make a lot of money. It sucks to exercise. It sucks to go on a diet, but we do it because we want to try and get the benefits, right? So, and if you buy a home, by the way, all the people who just bought a home or did buy a home, how'd they do? They did great. So why is this such a curse that we're up 16.6%? Everybody who owns a home, 66% of the United States, is seeing great benefit from that. You can get rid of MI, you've got wealth, you can pay down, you can use some of the money for investment or paying down debt. It's not all bad that home prices are higher, okay? Listen, I wish that it was a little bit calmer and it was easier. I wish that everything was in balance, but this is due to the Fed, who creates boom bust cycles. Before we talk about the Fed, can I say one last thing on housing?
Yes.
Today we got pending home sales, or it happened yesterday, I'm sorry. Pending home sales. The pending home sales number showed 1.8% drop. Oh my God. Last month, it was up 8.4%. So the NAR chief economist, Larry Yoon, now I know Larry, I like Larry, but this was just freaking nuts, okay? Last month, Larry Yoon goes, it's feverish, the buyers out of control, crazy, up 8.4%, housing market's strong, it's robust, losing his mind. This month, it's 30 days. 30 days, okay? 30 days, not 30 years, 30 days later, you know what he says? All kinds of concerns. The homes are too expensive. The buyer's pushing back. You know, there's definitely a slowdown. He's got concern. What happened? What happened? 30 days. The markets don't move that fast. It's like this is not a Ferrari going around a turn. It's like a big cruise ship that's going to go very, very slowly if it's going to turn. I'm not saying that we couldn't use a little bit softer price appreciation. Maybe that's a good thing, but it's just it's crazy how flip-flop people get, and they just don't understand it.
That was fantastic. I'm not even going to respond. It was just too good. I don't want to touch it, right? Let's go to the Fed. Just go there.
Oh, man, the Fed lies.
What's happening?
Fed's lying, okay? So we all know, and you know what's so crazy is I got friends that are just brilliant people, brilliant economists. You see them on TV all the time. I communicate with them all the time. And, I'm very flattered. They all ask me for stuff as to what's going on in rates and housing. But what's really amazing is that as smart as they are brilliant. And as smart as a lot of the people you see on air, everybody believes that the Fed's buying $40 billion a month in mortgage bonds. So we decided that we want to take a deeper look. Now, we used to do this, and you remember I used to call the Fed out on it. So what was the Fed's response? Let's remove it from the NewYorkFed.org so you can't find it.
Yeah.
And let's change the language to at least 40 billion, okay? At least.
Got you. At least 40 billion.
At least. So we did find the data. It's not easy. I got to give Dan Habib a lot of credit for this. Also, Bill Hagman in my office. They really got in there. Okay, we found the data because it's in there. And here's the deal. So they started 10 months in 2020 of buying $40 billion a month. So let's do the math. 40 times 10, 400 billion. That's a lot of money. Guess how much they bought?
How much?
5 times that amount, $2 trillion. They bought 50% of the market. Now, in the first 6 months of 2021, 40 billion a month. That's the famous 40 billion times 6, 240 billion. Guess how much it was?
What?
680 billion.
My God.
Missed it by that much, right? So it was just a bit outside of what they're claiming. So here's what they're saying. So they're saying, well, it's reinvestment. We're only buying 40 billion of new, only 40 billion of new. We're reinvesting. So wait a minute, when we look at the GDP numbers, let's not count food, because I'm just putting back the food that I've consumed, right? It's not new food. I've got rid of some, we all do, and I'm just replacing it. So we shouldn't count it, right? What kind of logic this is, I don't know, but this is important because as we talk about taper, and believe me, they don't have the fortitude, we use a kind word there, to try and not buy. And they say, oh wait, now their big excuse was, oh, we're not at maximum employment. You're paying people to stay home. You got 9.2 million job openings. Please come to work. Please come to work. No, I'm paid to stay home. It's summer. I want to stay home. Come Labor Day, that will change. But the Fed won't, because Jerome Powell is scared to death. Because what does the Fed do? Boom and bust. Boom and bust. This is what they put us through. They put the economy, they put the housing market, they put the stock market through boom and bust cycles because they have no clue what they're doing. These people never had a lemonade stand. They never had a newspaper out. They don't understand what the real world is like. So they're in total academia, ivory towers, and they are doing the most important thing in the world, pricing money. And when they're now talking about trillions, 8 trillion, you know how much $8 trillion is? We get immune to it. $8 trillion is on their balance sheet. Couple points. If they start to taper, and let's just say they taper 25%, it's $10 billion a month. It seems like a lot, but they're not going to stop the reinvestment. So if we take this year as an example, 680 billion, if they would have tapered from the beginning of the year, it would be 620 billion. What I'm trying to say to you is don't be so scared of the taper. Okay, it's not going to be that big of a deal if they start tapering. Don't panic.
Right.
It'll be a gentle difference if they taper. Maybe the market initially reacts a little bit, but it's not going to make that much difference. They're buying 40% of the mortgage market right now. So if they buy 38% or 40 or 30, it's not going to make that big of a difference. That money will come in from other areas that are being crowded out. So these are things that we just need to understand as far as what's really going on. What the media tells you is one thing, they get it wrong. What even many experts are seeing is they're just seeing what's being written or what's being told, and they're regurgitating it. And unfortunately, a lot of them are not doing the really hard work that's involved to get the real facts out there. We try and do that. We don't always, we're not always able to, but in this one, we've got some real good data here that I think explains that we shouldn't be afraid of taper. We should understand that the Fed doesn't have the fortitude. They're going to keep kicking the can down the road, because in this boom and bust world, Jerome Powell doesn't want to be the poster child for, I caused this terrible recession. I caused it.
Sure.
But GDP numbers are going down already. They thought it was going to be 9.2% for the second quarter. Guess what it came in? 6.5. And you and I have been talking about this. I said the stimulus, which has been massive and crazy, it wears off quickly. You get that big surge, the debt slows it down. It's already stopped. It's diminishing returns. Every time you try and give more, you give another shot of this, it has less of an effect. By 2022, we will be approaching recession-like conditions. And that's why I think that interest rates over the long term are going to remain pretty darn favorable. Doesn't mean we won't get spikes, but there's pressure to see rates get lower.
And if you want to have a lot more of that, you should sign up for MBS Highway.
Well, thank you. Thank you. You know what? We try and bring out this stuff that people don't see and insights that people don't get every single day, along with a lot of tools. So yeah, if you're not on it, I mean, really, what are you waiting for?
That was just fantastic, Barry. Thank you so much. We'll let the guys go. I mean, what am I going to add to that? That was just absolutely great. It was hysterical. You have an excellent way of just presenting things, It's just fantastic. It's just really good stuff, man. You guys, thanks for watching. Down below, there's a link down below to connect to MBS Highway where you can get a dose of that every single day. Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
You guys do us a favor, forward, share, and subscribe. We'll catch you later here at the National Real Estate Post.